Good morning, students. Our today's topic is histogram. A histogram is a graphical representation of a frequency distribution in the form of rectangles with class intervals as bases and the corresponding frequencies as heights. So, we are going to discuss three different cases of histogram. As we know, in histogram, we used to make continuous rectangles, means there is no gap between rectangles. So three cases we have to study. In case number one, when frequency distribution is in exclusive form. Second, when frequency distribution is in inclusive form or type, or when class intervals are of unequal size. So one example I have taken, that is the following table shows the number of literate females in age group between 10 to 57 years in a village. Here age group and number of females. That means from 10 to 17, 300. From 18 to 25, 980 females are there. From 26 to 33, 740 females are there. And so on. And total number of females is 3000. Here you can see the class interval is of inclusive type. So first we will convert this inclusive into exclusive and then we will draw histogram. To convert inclusive type into exclusive type, we have already learned in previous class that we have to subtract 0.5 from the lower class and we have to add 0.5 in the upper class. Similarly, here also we have to subtract 0.5 from 18 and we have to add 0.5 in upper limit. So let us start constructing histogram. We have converted inclusive type into exclusive. Now see, 9 from 9.5 to 17.5, 300, 17.5 to 25.5, 980, 25.5 to 33.5, 740 and so on. Now for that we need to choose a proper scale. So on y-axis we have taken 1 centimeter as 100 females. So 1 centimeter is representing 100 females. And on x-axis 1 centimeter is representing 8 years. Since we are not starting from 0, so we have made here a king. Now see the data and start plotting it. So from 9.5 to 17.5, reading is 300. So it is representing 300 almost here. You will be doing in graph paper, so it will give you exact figure, because this is a freehand drawing, so it is not that much accurate. Okay. So now from 17.5 to 25.5, 980. So 980 is slightly less than 1000. So like this, you can count 10 divisions over here. Then you have to mark it. Then from 25.5 to 33.5, 740. So here it is 740. That means slightly less than 750. 750 will be in the middle and slightly less than that it will be 740. Likewise, you have to plot entire data on the graph paper. So this is the required histogram. So from this you can take conclusions whatever you can. Now next question, construct histogram for the given data. Here you can see class interval and frequency is given from 1 to 4, 6, 4 to 6, frequency is 30, from 6 to 8, 44, 8 to 12, 16 and 12 to 24. Here we can see that the class interval are not regular. See the difference, 4 minus 1, that is 3, 6 minus 4, 2, 6 minus 8, again 2, 12 minus 8, 4 and 20 minus 12, 8. So this difference is not regular or uniform. So in such cases we cannot draw his histogram directly. We have to adjust these frequencies. So the formula for adjusted frequency is minimum class size divided by class size into frequency of the class. Now from here you have to select which is the minimum class size. So just now we have observed the minimum class size is 2. So we are going to calculate for the first class interval. So for overall minimum size, class size is 2 and class size of this class is 3. So 2 by 3. And frequency of the class, so frequency belonging to this class is 6. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. So here adjusted frequency is 4. Again, for the second class, also you have to find in the same way. So minimum class size is 2 and the difference of this class is again 2 and the frequency of this class is 30. So the adjusted frequency here is 30. Similarly, for the other three classes, you have to calculate adjusted frequency and then we have to draw histogram. Now we have calculated adjusted frequency here for all the class intervals. Now we have to plot histogram between class interval and adjusted frequency. So we have to take scale on x-axis 1 centimeter I have taken as 2 units and on y-axis 1 centimeter I have taken as 5 units. So now let us start. So between 1 to 4 the frequency is 4. So here is 2 and here is 0. So 1 will be almost here. So between 1 to 4 the frequency is 4. That means slightly less than 5. So we have to draw like this. Next is from 4 to 6 frequency is 30. So 4 to 6 frequency is 30. So here is 30 slightly means it's exactly here. So you have to mark like that. Thereafter from 6 to 8 frequency is 44. So from 6 to 8 it is 44 which is less than little bit less than 45. So here it is. And then from 8 to 12 frequency is 8. So 8 to 12 that means here is 8 and here is 12. So like this you have to mark and the frequency is 8. So here that is less than 10. So here is 8. The next is from 12 to 20 frequency adjusted frequency is 1. So here from 12 to 20 the frequency is 1. So you can see from here it is like this. So this is the way of drawing histogram on graph paper. So everything you have to mention here also that you are representing x-axis as class interval on x-axis and frequency on y-axis. So it needs to be mentioned. Now we will learn how to calculate mean. Suppose x1, x2, x3 up to xn. These are the number of observations and you have to calculate arithmetic mean. So the formula is you have to add all the numbers and then divide it by n. That is number of observations. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These number of observations are n. So divided by n. The same can be represented as this. This is the sign of summation. Summation from I is equals to 1 to n. xi. That means we are going to sum up all these. This is the meaning. Divided by n. Now suppose you have to calculate the sum, only the sum of observation, then n will go to this side. That means mean into number of observation will give you sum of all observations. I am repeating, sum of all observations is equals to mean into number of observation. Now suppose calculate the mean of first 10 natural numbers. You know natural number starts from 1. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to 10 you have to add it. And number of observation when you will count this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of observations are 10. So you have to divide it by 10. So here is the mean. So the mean for first 10 natural number is 5.5. Now the question like if mean of 6, 8, 9, x 13, 13 is 10. Now mean of these observations is 10 and you have to calculate the value of x. Then using the same formula how you will calculate that you see. That is mean is equals to sum of all observations divided by n. So mean here is 10. So I have written 10 here and 6 plus 8 plus 9 plus x plus 13 divided by 5. After solving this you will get the value of x as 40. Now we are going to learn how to calculate mean if all the observations are increased by a particular number. Either increased by a particular number or decreased by that number or multiplied by that number or divided by that number. So let us see. Now x1, x2, x3 up to xn. These are the number of observations whose mean is here that we have already studied. Now when we have to find the sum of all these observations, what we will do? We will do mean into number of observation, that is n into x bar. So this will give you sum of all observation. Now the question is, what will be the new mean if a number is, if every observation is increased by p? So I'm going to add p in each and every observation, that is x1 plus p, x2 plus p, x3 plus p, etc. till xn plus p. So now you have to calculate the number of what is the new mean, and here number of observation are same. So to calculate mean, we have to add all this and then divide by number of observations. So x1 plus p plus x2 plus p plus x3 plus p up to xn plus p divided by n. Now let us separate x1 plus x2 up to xn plus p plus p plus p plus p up to n, because number of observations are n. So when n up to n, we have to add p. So it is n into p. Suppose we have to add 2 10 times. So what we will do? 2 into 10. Suppose we have to add 5 times. So 5 into 5. Similarly, we have to add p n times. So it is n into p. So here is the equation. Now you see x1 plus x2 plus up to xn. What is the value? Here it is given nx bar. So here this value we have to substitute here. So in place of this, I have written nx bar and plus np. Take n common and n will get cancelled. So you cancel and your answer will be x bar plus p. So that means how the answer, always what you have to do is mean plus whatever number is added or subtracted. Even same for in case of subtraction also. If you are subtracting any particular number, so finally your new mean will be that number you need to subtract from the mean. And suppose you are multiplying by a number p, then you have to multiply that it with mean by p to get the new mean. Let us observe one example. The mean of 16 numbers is 8. If 2 is added to every number, what will be the new mean? This is the question. Now let us suppose that x1, x2, x3, these are the up to x16, these are the observations whose mean is 8. So number of observations are 16. So x1 plus x2 plus x3 up to x16 divided by 16. And the mean given is 8. So here I have written 8. Now in the next step, 16 will multiply with mean to get the sum of all observations. So sum of all observation is 128 now. Now the question is, if every observation is increased by 2. So in all these observations, I am adding 2. So x1 plus 2, x2 plus 2 and x16 plus 2. These are the new observations. We have to calculate mean now. So mean is sum of all observations divided by number of observation. This is the formula. So x1 plus 2 plus x2 plus 2 plus up to x16 plus 2 divided by 16. So I have separated x1, x2 up to x16 and 2 how many times? Because 16 observations are there. So we have to add 16 times 2. So that means 16 into 2. And the value of these observation, that is x1 plus x2 up to x16, here it is, that is 128. So this value we have to substitute here. So that is 128 plus 32. And after solving, you will get the answer 10. Now see what increment you have got. Earlier the mean was 8. Now after adding 2 in every observation, the mean is increased by 2. So that is 8 plus 2. Similarly, if we will subtract 2 from every observation, the new mean will become less than 8 by 2. That is 8 minus 2, that is 6. So similarly, you can solve these questions. So this much for today, children. Solve the questions related to the concept given today. See you in next class. Thank you.